Welcome to another edition of the Truth Zone, where truth is always stranger than fiction. In today's show, I am going to be covering a lot of different topics. And the first topic that I wanted to discuss in today's video is, as you see on screen right here, UK scientists launch outdoor geoengineering experiments. Blocking sunlight could temporarily slow the climate crisis, but the technologies remain highly controversial. And what they are doing is they are telling you truth in plain sight with this right here, because this has been going on for quite some time. A lot of different things with the weather and everything else has been going on for quite some time, but they are in such a stage that they don't care to tell everybody the truth at this point because of where they are at. And again, this has been going on for a while now. And even read this right here. UK scientists are to launch outdoor geoengineering experiments as part of a government funding program, and the experiments will be small scale at first, and you can continue to read along here. And again, this is truth in plain sight. And then right here, as you see on screen, it says geoengineering is controversial and some previous planned outdoor experiments have been canceled. Yeah, right. After strong opposition. Most geoengineering proposals aim to block sunlight reaching the Earth's surface, for example, by launching clouds of reflective particles into the atmosphere or using seawater sprays to make clouds brighter. If successful, this could temporarily reduce surface temperatures and the harm the climate crisis is causing, given more time for the deep cuts in global carbon emissions needed, given the failure of the world to stop emission rising to date and the recent run of record hot years. Backers of solo geoengineering say researching the issue is vital in case an emergency brake is needed. And again, this is truth in plain sight, because even right here, as you see on the screen, back in 2024, it says solo geoengineering refers to proposals to reduce global warming by reflecting a portion of sunlight back into space before it reaches the Earth's surface. So again, this has been going on. This has been discussed for years and years and years. And even back in 2021, right here, as you see on screen, a Bill Gates venture aims to spray dust into the atmosphere to block the sun. And they ask the question, what could go wrong? And if they are successful with this, this is going to make things a lot easier for them to have holograms in the sky for their Project Bluebeam event that they so want to do to stage this fake alien invasion. Now, again, this is truth in plain sight, because again, they are telling you exactly what they want to do. Another thing I wanted to talk about yet again is Pope Francis. And this is some more pictures of him in the casket. And does something seem a little strange and off to you? And I also wanted to correct myself from a previous video where I talked about it just being his left eye. Well, it looks like both eyes are bruised. But does something seem off to you when it comes to him in this casket, or is it just me? Something seems weird. It really doesn't even seem like the same individual. And even when you look right here, you will notice pyramids are right above the casket. And again, this is more truth in plain sight, because they are showing you exactly what they are about. They are showing you exactly what is going on. And again, it's by no coincidence that he's draped in this red outfit, because red means a ritual, a blood ritual. This is what red means. So it's by no coincidence that he's all draped in red. It's by no coincidence that the guards are draped in the red with the hats. And it's by no coincidence that they are also wearing the blue and the yellow, because the blue and the yellow is associated with the club that they are part of, because it's their compass, the Freemason compass, because all of this is done by design. And speaking of weird things when it comes to all of this stuff surrounding the Pope, look at this picture right here. Does this look eerie to you again, or is it just me? Something really seems off about all of this. And something else I've noticed, when you actually look at the picture where JD Vance met with the Pope before his passing, if this was the Pope, that's another discussion for another time. But if you notice, look at the handshake that they are doing. And this handshake is one of their handshakes, the Freemason handshake. So you tell me what is really going on here. I also find it interesting how JD Vance is wearing a yellow tie. But all of this stuff is very strange. And another thing I wanted to even get into and discuss, because again, this is all tying together with the Pope, with Klaus Schwab stepping down on the same day. I wanted to talk more about this weird guy right here. He looks like a Austin Powers villain or a Bond villain, Peter Brabeck. And he is the one that has replaced Klaus Schwab, at least for now.
What is going on with the WEF? I'm getting total villain, last boss type vibes. Make sure you stick around because you will not hear this anywhere else. We'll come right back to this stuff. Now, before we get into the really crazy part, we have the WEF talking about implanting devices in Bluetooth headphones and other things for who knows what. And yeah, this is pretty crazy, but it gets crazier.
Wearable devices. So these are brain sensors that are starting to be embedded in everyday devices, but until now have been a number of niche companies that really have focused on mindfulness and meditation. The use of, for example, brain sensors that can pick up electrical activity in the brain at a pretty low resolution.
So y'all heard that, right? They're already putting chips in your headphones that can read your brain activity. We also just had Schwabi step down and this guy step up. But let's be real, why do they want to measure your brain activity? What kind of electrical signals can they pick up from your brain? Do you see this behind me? Automatic machine for identifying blanks of blank from voice to skull? So this is a patent that fights against the other patent, which is the voice to skull. So I'm sure you're wondering, what is voice to skull? Well, it's technology where they can implant voices in your own head. You'll think it's you half the time. So I was actually going to get the voice to skull patent, and I found this one instead. If you want to look farther into it. TikTok, this is just a picture, I'm sure they all have infections. So I've showed you in times past where they can literally read your brain from the camera on your phone using your eyes. And through that, they'll decode some electronic signature from your brain to know what you're thinking. Also now with your headphones, they can get that same exact signal. We also have AI being able to detect your location through walls. So long story short, because I'm just joking and I'm just giving y'all some fiction, theoretically, that would never happen. When voices beam to your skull, they'll know what you're thinking about that voice because your headphones or whatever else kind of technology. This all coming up when the last boss fight is stepping up and the new identification required to enter government buildings. Need I say any more?
So do you see what is happening? It has more stuff to do with implanting stuff in your head. And, that also ties into what Elon Musk wants to do with Neuralink. And he already has done it, to some people. And all of this is tying together because this is all about man merging with machine. And when you actually start to do a little bit more research about this guy, you will find out how truly evil this guy is because he really doesn't believe that water consumption is a human right. Listen to this.
Well, I think that's a very, very crucial question. And it is being brought forward by some NGOs in a very simplistic manner. They are saying water is a human right. Therefore, it's not a commercial material. My answer to this is, yes, you're right. Water is a human right. The 25 liters of water that we need as a minimum as a person in order to live decently, which is my 4 to 5 liters of liquid, which I have to take to me, which is about the 4 or 5 liters for the cleaning. It's about the 4 or 5 liters that we need in order to clean the dishes. Yes, this is a human right. But I don't think it's a human right to fill up my swimming pool, to wash my cars, to water the golf course, or even to water the garden. I don't think this is a human right. And if we do not understand that the water, which is a human right, is the smallest part of the water that we are using, and that the big parts, which can be, just to give you a figure, I mentioned we need about 25 liters per day per capita. Well, we are using in the United States about 400 liters per day. So this 380 liters of water, I don't think this is a human right, and this should have a price. Why? Because if we do not put a price, we will not make the investments which are necessary in order to use the most precious of the resources that we have in a more responsible manner. So the water situation gets worse and worse. And if we do not give a value to the water, those investments are not going to be made, because nobody has an interest to invest because you don't have an economical return. If the value of water is zero, any investment will never yield. If the water has at least a decent price, an investment might yield. And that's why we don't make the investments. Those who emotionally appeal that water should not have any price because it is a human right, they don't look into reality.
So let's see if I got this right. Sunlight pretty much ain't a human right if you listen to these people. Water consumption isn't a human right if you listen to these people. These people are truly, truly madmen. Another thing I wanted to talk about is there is this viral video on TikTok from this guy who digs graves. And he was talking about something really mysterious happening at grave sites. And he was talking about how caskets feel light. And he was just beginning to ask a bunch of questions, wondering exactly what is going on with these caskets. And listen to this video, and he just seems really scared, and I don't blame him, because there is a lot of weird things going on. And again, if you know exactly what is going on with all of this, with these caskets and the way that they feel light, because again, this has to do with certain things that they are doing behind the scenes. And let's just say certain fast food companies may or may not be involved with this, among other things. Check this out.
Y'all want to hear some shit to really blow y'all's mind this morning? So, as a side hustle, I dig graves and graveyards and cemeteries across Bowling Green and surrounding counties. Something didn't set right with me today. As I was digging, the guy that's the director of the graveyard walked up to me, and he was like, "We need to lift that casket up to get it even." So we put it on the tally and brought it back up. When we brought it back up, it come off even in a way, but it was crooked in the corner. So he's like, "We got to lift it." So I lifted it, me and him together. But the weirdest thing was, it was really light. Like, extremely light. Like, and I'm not a big dude. So I was like, I told him, I was like, why is that so light? He was like, "Don't ask questions that you ain't ready for." Y'all, I'm freaked out. What are they doing with these bodies?
Here's another commentator that was talking about this too, about what's going on with these caskets at these graves. What do you think about this? This is very mysterious stuff.
Have you seen this guy pop up on your FIP? If not, he apparently got a job as a gravedigger, okay? I don't specifically know his name and I couldn't find it on his profile, but here's why you should go watch his videos. Which, by the way, I'll put his account down below. But anyways, that guy made a video a little under a week ago about his experience as a gravedigger, and that video went super viral because he was talking about a conversation that he and his boss had when they were digging graves, okay? And it wasn't just any normal conversation. Let's just say that conversation involved talking about caskets and coffins being light. And it's interesting how many people have actually been tagging me in his videos over the course of the last couple of days, because I actually did a series of videos on this a little over a year ago, and I brought awareness to a special little market. Let's just say that market is painted black, you feel me? But anyways, I want you to think about something before I go any further, okay? When do the caskets actually go into the ground after a funeral? And when I say into the ground, I mean actually buried. See, my father years back had actually knew a couple of individuals that had been gravediggers for well over 5-10 years at that time of them knowing each other. And while there's not a lot that I can specifically say, I do recommend that you watch a very specific show. That show being Kings of Tupelo on Netflix, and if you want me to, I'll actually summarize it for you real quick. The show is actually based upon a very specific individual, that individual being Paul Kevin Curtis. And to not really spoil anything for you, let's just say that he began a very successful cleaning business, eventually earning a contract with the North Mississippi Medical Center. Now, while cleaning there, Curtis claimed that he discovered a freezer full of, well, let's just say useful parts, which he stated resulted in him losing his job. And in return, Curtis began a very specific pursuit. I'm not going to ruin the show for you. You should just go watch the show. But this guy down here is somebody that you should actually listen to, because there has been many people throughout the years that have tried to come out and speak about their experience of being a gravedigger or at the morgue. And I myself can tell you a lot of stories about my father's side of the family that will literally leave you shocked. I mean, my father's stepbrother and himself actually owned a morgue. And some of the shit that my father told me that his stepbrother told him is just wow. Some pretty gruesome shit, but we'll save that for another day.
And the reason I say that is mysterious, and I talked about the fast food stuff, is remember that creepy KFC commercial from a couple of weeks ago where they said believe in chicken and showed them dipping a man into gravy and then turning him into chicken in front of a gold egg? I mean, come on, that is very weird stuff in and of itself. So again, what is really going on? Why are these caskets so light? What is really going on with all of this? There is definitely some weird stuff happening. And he also had an update video, the guy that is the gravedigger, and he was talking more about all of this. Check this out.
When I made the video saying that casket was light, that wasn't something that I did just because. The reason why I did it is because it's becoming a pattern. Since COVID, this industry has 100% changed. I'm not going to sit up here and act like that I know what they're doing. But I know it ain't right, and I know I'm going to find out. I don't know where this journey might lead me, trying to figure out what's going on. But I feel like that all my life, I've wanted to know the truth about everything. And while everybody else was living this fairy tale, I've always known that this world is off. We're in spiritual warfare, y'all. Good versus bad. You can discredit me, you can say whatever. But we are. If you notice in the first video, all the people that was giving me backlash was funeral directors, funeral homes. I've heard people say they're going to sue me. They're going to try to lock me up. I've even heard some say that they're going to try to take me out. I really don't care. Because you know what? The truth is worth more than sometimes even your life. I know a lot of people is going to think this is crazy. But I promise you, y'all, there is something going on with burials. There's something going on with bodies. And if you don't believe me, that's fine. There's a lot of reasons in this world for you not to believe people. But in this instant right here, I'm being real. I advise you that if you bury somebody, that you do request to be there. If somebody is being cremated, then, you know, it's your choice. I think that some states do let you be there. I don't trust nothing. My boss is always here at 6 a.m. sharp. It's 8:13. Not one day. This is a 61-year-old man, country man, that never misses work. He's nowhere to be found. Today we uncovered the truth. And every day from here on out, that's my goal. And I hope you guys are with me. God bless you and have a good day.
So there is definitely a lot of weird things going on, a lot of scary things going on that I can't really explain at all. There's a lot of strange events happening.
We are so screwed. We as in y'all. Explain that in a minute. So tell me why AI can track your exact physical location by a picture now. Where was this picture taken? Give me coordinates. The AI literally thought for 1 minute and 2 seconds and gave exact approximate coordinates. The shot was taken on 18-hole Esther Park golf course in Esther Park, Colorado. You in the house, you're not safe. Hold on. Now we're gonna find out who comments prematurely. Nope. To prove it wasn't metadata and EXIF, they ran a test. Someone took a screenshot of the image, therefore bypassing all metadata, and asked a different AI the same exact question. And they got the same exact answer, no metadata, even to the coordinate, that the coordinate was 40 by 105. It was able to tell which mountain range was in the back. Y'all don't even understand how intelligent this artificial intelligence is, and it blew my mind when everyone was so open to having it. Especially when movies showed us the exact situation. And if we know now it's been around for a very long time, look at this fortune. Blank surveillance and AI tools for tracking and ranking. These people need to know how those people will use AI. Oh, you can't get me because I'm sitting in my house. Well, guess what? They can even find you inside of your house. Again, you have no idea how intelligent these things really are. Come on now. I mean, are you not aware that these AIs have been tracking and coordinating and creating grids that we live in to know exactly where we are and why we are? Almost like they're monitoring spirits, you know, demons around us all the time. Oh wait, that's exactly what it is. And finally, the reason that y'all are screwed, or some of y'all are screwed, is because when the androids come to round everybody up and end this life as we know it, we're not worried about this place. Dare I say, we're excited to leave? And if you're not, then hopefully that's not you.
What do you think about all of this? As always, please consider taking time out of your day to like the video, comment down below, and if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing to the channel and turning on the bell icon and selecting all notifications. And as always, please just do your part and share this video wherever you can think of sharing it, on Facebook, with a friend, with a family member, with whoever. As always, God bless each and every one of you, and this is Truth Seeker signing out.